Welcome to Ciao Bella, hosted by yours truly, Erica Firpo, travel journalist based in Rome. Each week on Ciao Bella, I explore today's Italy, speaking with artisans, designers, hoteliers, architects, artists, Parmesan makers, in other words, the creators who are making the Italy that you love. So sit back and join in. Welcome back to Ciao Bella. This is Erica, and today I am sitting in the very colorful apartment of one half of Roi du Lac, which is a creative duo that I'm going to actually let Marco explain exactly what it is, but I'm here with Marco Kinloch. Am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's excellent. So that's the Scottish side, and the Italian side is really easy for me to pronounce. Welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Well, I'd love to talk to you about first, I think we need to give everybody just the basic story of what is Roi du Lac. And first, and also I want to just let everybody know I'm talking to an artist. So
Where is he? No, I mean, well, thanks for that. I mean, I don't know if that's the way. I just do drawings. That's all I do. I don't think of myself that way. But thanks for that. And yes, so Roi du Lac, it's French for King of the Lake. It's as simple as that. And King of the Lake, it's what Kinloch, my surname, would mean. Kinloch. Loch is Scottish for lake. It's not so
like
it's not so fancy. It's actually, I think it's like a geographical thing. It means the rock, the biggest rock of the lake. I guess I'm not even sure, but I couldn't use Kinloch because the people that registered a trademark long time before me for kilts. I don't know why, but they registered in the US and Japan and everywhere.
Oh, wow.
So I guess they sell kilts a lot.
The Kinloch kilts.
The Kinloch kilts. They're called Kinloch Anderson. So long story short, I can't use that name. So I thought, well, and I know it's Italian. I'm Italian, but the Italian version was didn't just sound as good. And so we decided to go for the French. And so Antea, who is my business partner and also the part of this creative duo you're talking about, is she grew up speaking French, so somehow it made French because she grew up in Morocco.
Well, from what I understand, both of you guys have together. She grew up in Morocco, but she's lived all over as well as you. Is that correct? I know there's been Morocco, some Sicily.
Well, she has. I haven't. No, she has, and since she was born in Switzerland, went to Malaysia for some time, I don't know how long, and then she went to Sicily, and then went to Morocco, then went to Germany. So it was like she grew up all over the place. Yes.
Collecting languages.
Yeah, she speaks tons of languages. Yes.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in the Veneto, like in the countryside outside of Venice.
Ah.
Yeah, so just very simple countryside, the little town. I'm a little town boy. Just simple.
And you were just a little town boy who liked drawing.
Yeah. No, yes, I guess so.
Well, you know what? Let me just tell people what I think when I say you're an artist. I mean, I've known because I live in your neighborhood, and as I was saying earlier, every time I walk through Piazza Navona and I head home, this little piazza is my shortcut, and I kept seeing this little studio space, and I'd peek my head in and nobody was there because usually it was about 8 o'clock in the morning after I dropped my daughter off at school, and I'd peek in and I saw the name Roi du Lac, and I was like, what is this? I saw beautiful fabrics, so I Googled you guys and I came across Antea Alliata and Marco Kinloch. And I saw this thing, watercolor. It jumped out at me. My mom's a watercolor artist, so I started looking, and I know it's home decor, but these are beautiful drawings, beautiful not even fantasy drawings. Some of them are they're floral or a lot of fauna, very, very beautifully detailed drawings that you've then transported into fabric design and home decor. Is that the best way to describe it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just something. Just like the reason why I don't want to. I'm making it already too difficult. I just like, to me, an artist is just like, it's something. I just don't feel that way because I feel artists have tried to come to send give a, translate a message into their work. They sometimes they study very hard to get to where they are. There's a lot of work behind, a lot of concept. I'm not saying we don't do that, but I want to keep my job for what it is. I'm more like an, I mean, I try to, I do fabrics for home and or for clothing, and I do wallpapers, which is decorations, for something to enjoy. It's not something so intellectual, so complicated. So I don't, I don't take myself seriously enough to think of myself as an artist. Just like, and I'm not trained to be one. I just like I happen to be good enough for drawing and have a bit of sense of color, and just like I just started doing it. And actually I ended up, and that's also one thing that I ended up doing this now. There's an Italian expression I like a lot, which is fuoco sacro, which is my sacred fire, which is what the way Italians name that thing you have in your heart that that you want to, your passion that you want to do. You have your fuoco sacro, meaning you want to be an actor, you want to be a singer, you want to be a chef, you want to be that you know what you want to be. I never had that. I literally happened to do this. It just happened, and then it became, now I think I love my job, I love what I do, and I try to do it the best I can, and I try to get better what I do every day. But it never felt like, oh, and people say, oh, I couldn't, I could live without this job. I mean, I literally could. I could live on a beach and do nothing all day. I mean, I actually would do it if I could. So I'm not that kind of guy that, oh, I couldn't live if I didn't do this. No, I could, but I love what I do, and it's I'm very fortunate in that respect. But it's just like, that's the difference. That's why I don't feel myself like an artist, especially because I'm not trained to be one, and I just do my best.
Well, let's talk about what you do. So the company you and Antea started in 2016, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no, in a sense. In 2016, it was at the end of 2016, we came up with the name. And then in 2017, we developed this home line based on wallpapers and fabrics for the house, which didn't actually sell very well. So it wasn't actually a great success, and we needed money. And then my crazy, I love him, but he's crazy, Israeli American agent in New York said, "Oh, you guys have to do clothing," and I was like, "Oh God." But I didn't know how big the Hogarth should have been at the time, because doing clothing, I mean, going back, oh my God. But anyway, he was right in the sense that people reacted to it immediately, and we had the Fifth Avenue window bird offs, like with the first season, and now we sell at Saks, we sell all across the US, we in Japan, in Korea, in Belgium. For being like, at the end of the day, we've been around doing clothing for less than 2 years, and we landed in stores only a year ago. So
So
it's been very short, but we're doing very good, very
so
well.
so the clothing is can you describe a little bit about what it is? It's your designs that have then been transferred to the digitally transferred, I guess, into prints.
Okay, so now that I'm going to tell you why I think this works and how it works, you're going to say, "Oh, he thinks of himself like an artist." Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be, okay, he does it. Oh, no, don't. So yes, okay, no. So because I have to sound very arrogant, which I am, but I try to pretend not to be. So what's special? What's special about us is just that I think I came to realize, really, because I had, like, by talking to people that were in business much longer than me, and were just like being successful in the business, and because I realized that talking with customers and so forth, and that for some reason I found that there are three ingredients for prints. I mean, we're a print company, so we're not about the bodies, the shapes, we're just about the prints, the fabrics. So you don't come to us to get a white T-shirt or a white trousers. It's not us. Just go somewhere else. But if you want a nice printed silk blouse, we are the guys you're looking for. Why is that? Because I think there are three ingredients to make prints, and they are colors, heritage, and story. What I mean? Well, color is simple. You need to be able to kind of combine colors, and I think that, to be honest, my this duality from being half Brit and half Italian helped me out in that, because I think the Brits always have a way in colors. Like they, and I am kind of like an old English aunt. Like I need to have my sofa with my lamps, my tea, my
Uh,
biscuits, and I need to have the carpet, and it has to be cozy, and you have to sit down. I mean, I'm not like I'm the typical Italian macho, as you can see. But oh, why are you laughing? It's not, so
you're so
anyway.
charming.
Anyway, so I have that. So I guess that is it's done. Story. I mean, I realize for some reason that the prints need to make sense, even if you don't know why they have to make sense. So that we basically what we normally do, we choose like a destination. So it could be Japan, it could be Mexico, it could be whatever, and we choose a subject within the place we're going to. Like with this season we're selling right now, not in the store. The season in the stores is now Mexico, and through the eyes of Diego Rivera, meaning we took Diego Rivera studied a lot the connection, the flowers in Pre-Cortez Mexico. So especially the white big lilies. That he was the symbolism of these flowers, and he did an amazing job. I mean, I don't want to even go into it because if there's any art historian there that's going to listen to it, is like,
Uh,
what is this dude talking about? What does he know? No, I know nothing. But anyway, we try we try to make a little bit of research. I don't want to make it sound as if we had a team because it's just me and Wikipedia. So it's not like we go to the best libraries in the world, but we try to do a little bit of
which is
research.
great.
I mean,
Uh,
I know I do. I love Wikipedia, to be honest. I so love it. But I mean, I know I'm not like this, but I guess that people that do things in a better, more professional way. But I'm not an historian. I'm not no art historian here. I'm just like, but I try to connect the dots. Like, so if I'm doing Mexico and I'm doing Mexican with the Rivera, I wanna develop something that makes sense from flowers. No, from the because obviously we're a print company and we need to sell. So you're always gonna find in every collection we do animals, or we're going to find flowers. You're going to find always something that is somehow easy to wear. You're not just going around with a communist manifesto on your chest. It's just not. That's not the kind of guys we are. Third, and that's anyway. So it has to make sense story wise, storytelling of the print.
can I ask a quick
Yeah,
question? Does
sure.
this mean then? So does it then mean you're doing this Wikipedia research, this very in-depth art historical research? I'm teasing.
No, no, actually
And you're
not.
translating it into a drawing that
That's
then.
what we tried to do. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So it's your drawings.
It's my drawing because I watercolor them.
Hmm.
It's everything seen through my eyes because that's yeah. Just because we don't have anybody else to pay right now, so no, just because it's my hand. Because somehow I also found out that the fact that I'm a naive painter because I'm not professionally trained as an
Hmm.
artist, and the fact that it becomes very graphic, it's good enough, but it's graphic, which makes it for fabrics very nice.
Ah,
Because if you
okay.
try to have something very detailed, very well done on fabrics, it doesn't look as good. I don't know why. I don't ask me why. And that's where we get to the last thing, which is heritage. What I mean by heritage, I mean by taste. It's the kind of like the background, the that that makes the develop your taste into something that is just right for what you're doing. What so this is going to sound so snobbish. So, but what I'm trying to say is that I was fortunate enough to grow up in Italy and to were surrounded by beautiful things and to live in beautiful places and so forth. So I can actually relate to my customer in a way that I know I can produce a product that I would like to wear and how I would like to make it. It's not that I'm doing something totally out of like what I'm so in fact to my as far as I know it's very easy to find that kind of like in terms of original prints I'm talking is like it's very easy to find that in brands that are more like focused on streetwear or
Ah,
contemporary artists because they combine the three things they combine color they combine um, heritage because
heritage.
they were express the world they come from and also the storytelling. That's very easy for me to find original prints that make sense in very cool designs that very like more again I mean I don't know even if streetwear is the right word but you get
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to
I
say.
do.
But since we do like kind of classical prints, I mean, with the very original, but they're also like they're more like Hermes kind of
Mm-hmm.
girl, like more Pucci, like more hetero, more like that kind of woman, more than than an Off White or Vetements or whatever kind of brand. We definitely, and I think we can express the heritage of that brand. So to be honest, although we're really tiny little brand, I think at the we in terms of original fabrics and quantity of fabrics we produce every season, we are extremely special, and I think that's why people are reacting to us so well.
Well, is it? I think isn't something else that adds this specialness to the mix is the fact that you're not just you're not just designing everything, and it's not just the three things: story, heritage, and color. There's also the fact that you're making it here. It's is it entirely Italy made, from what I understand?
It is. Um, I understand it's a big thing, especially as you talk about it. To me, it's not, to be honest. I'm not like an Italian made fan.
Okay.
Like, in a sense, I do believe in Italian made, but to be honest, in that, I want to be extremely politically correct saying this, but I believe in world made. In a sense that I do Italian because I'm Italian, I'm in here. But if sometimes I find people that do things well and specific things well, I like to do them with them. Like example, I found there's a specific thing have been working with these guys for quite some time. One of the fabrics we all because we translate our prints in different ways. We don't only print them. We also do jacquard, which is woven fabric,
Right.
we do embroideries. We do a lot of things just to translate our designs. And they like this. I can think of these Greek guys we've worked with that make a very specific traditional Greek way of doing a fabric, which is almost like embroidered, and it's a traditional Greek type of fabric, and we like working with them. Or there's a guy in China that does one of the fabrics in a specific way. We work with him from time to time. Then obviously, or Turkey also. Then obviously, and then that's like I guess that's 10% of what we do, and it all comes to Italy where it's actually manufactured
Okay.
afterwards. And yes, it is Italian made, but although I like to defend made in Italy, to be honest, I also like. I think we're past that. I mean, I think we're just like, well, what the world is, what's needed now is just well made, to be honest. Well made, and not only well made in terms of, and that's why I also like to think that's where we were going. Not only well made in terms of like quality of the product, but also quality of the production. So, we opened our own factory outside of Milan. We hired everybody with the work for us. Our seamstresses I hired, they get their holidays. We go crazy for that because they kind of want to go on holiday, and we're just like, what? But we just, we do, which is like, sounds like normal, but it's just not normal in Italy. It almost is, but like still, even in Italy, a lot of people are just like, there's a lot of black work and so far and so forth
Like under the what we would call under the table.
under
Yeah.
the table, yes. And so yeah, and also so it's not even and there's not China and India is like it's done in a way that everybody it's done nicely. It's just like we train the people that work with us. We train ourselves. I mean, I went to learn how to do some of the. I mean, I cannot sew because I'm useless. But I did go to learn how to cut fabric and and do stuff because I wanted to know how to talk to the people that were working with us. So I think that's to me that is all very important.
Quick question: when you guys first started out, because it wasn't fab was it fabrics was it the beautiful wallpaper that I see when you first started out, or
Well, I it was a wallpaper at the beginning, but I came before the reason why we did this because I had a smaller company, another company with another partner that I sold back to him before then, and we were doing accessories, so scarves and ties. I
mm-hmm.
mean, printing silk has always been my thing, like forte. So if I think of what I do is I print silk, like cotton, linen, jacquard woven fabrics, wallpapers, everything is just like a consequence to me
Of
of
printing and
the
silk?
silk. Like to me, like if I think of what I am professionally would be like I do silk.
Huh.
So where and then but in the day can do anything because we print in ceramics, we print in plastic, we
Yeah,
print in glass, we print on we print on anything. It's just like
because I know in Rome that there's because I know that you guys are all over the world and you're quite popular in the United States. You were saying Bergdorf's, um, and if you want to just quickly list some of the places that you are in the U.S.
oh gosh. and I'm gonna hurt some good customers. I don't remember the name of their stores. That's such a good clue.
Okay.
So anyway, it would be like Saks,
Richter.
Burdovs. Then we have like 4510, Mohawk General.
You're in Houston. You're in on the East Coast, the West
Yeah,
Coast, the South.
yeah. We're Charleston, Houston. Joseph's in I think is the Joseph's there in New Orleans and Memphis. Memphis and Lansky Brothers. We did a special collaboration with Lansky Brothers because they have the rights to the image of Elvis Presley. So we
Oh,
did this collection all based, and it had to be accepted by the committee that they actually accept the fact that we interpreted the image of Elvis Presley, and we did this all Elvis Presley kind of collection. It's been sold right now in Lansky Brothers, and it's Memphis, right? Elvis.
yeah,
Yes, yeah,
it's
should
Memphis.
be. And
Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't know about that because
yeah,
I
I
know the
mean, we do a
Pompeii.
lot.
I saw the Diego. Oh, that's
Well,
very cool.
because that's the point. Um, I can, I can do. I try. I can basically do anything when it comes to in terms of drawing. I mean, I draw. You need a piece. That's a good thing about drawing. Just need a piece of paper and a pencil, and that's it. So, and honestly, can I say swear words and
You
no?
can say a swear word, yes.
I mean, I'm a kind of a slut. That's
That's not even a swear word.
yeah. Okay, it's not it. I mean, it's just like I'm a bit of a slut. So if they pay me, there was one woman walking up to me one day and says, "Oh," because they literally in the U.S. they do these trunk shows and they sit me on a table and they make me draw in front of the customers to see, oh, like almost like a little monkey to say like, oh, look how this guy's this fabric's all remade. This comes he came from Italy, and it's like you almost like think like anthropological museum. People are like, oh wow, is it doing that really?
Watch him
Oh,
move. Yeah.
he moves, and then a woman walks to me and says, "Can you do my dog?" And I was like, "Oh God, not the dog again!" And it's like I said, because I love dogs. Don't get me wrong,
So you could do
but
my dog.
I know, no, because there's one thing. One thing is to love dogs. One thing is, but I think I'm allowed to hate dog lovers. I have a dog. I love my dog, but the way people that love the dogs talk about the dogs,
Hmm.
it's just like every time I ended up drawing someone, I was like, don't you see, those are not the eyes, that's not the look she has. It's like, it's a dog. I don't know. Am I supposed? I'm not a portrait artist, and just like I'm not an artist at all. Just go to Venice and the Piazza and do your dog. So anyway, she was very nice anyway. So I ended up doing a pillow for the dog because she liked the dog I did. It was the eyes looked right. So I'm always afraid with that. But anyway, I do anything people ask me. I don't really care. I just enjoy doing. And then obviously then I redo it the way I think it's right, and I try to find a compromise. But I don't actually. I just want to make my client happy. So I do a lot of like collaborations and special thing that could go from literally one client call in and say, I want a shirt design for me, or to like a store that wants a special collaboration or a collection for like I do that a lot in Japan. So
Oh, very cool.
Japanese never like my things. They always like, they know they're always they're very Japanese about it, and it's just like they always hate it, whatever I do. But then they love the way I do it, so they always ask me to do it something for them. They always are very happy at the end. So they like select 10 types of different things, and like Hermes scarves or whatever, like to get me an idea what they kind of the thing they like, and then they say, "Can you do this but develop in this kind of concept?" And so and then I start working, and we exchange emails for our agent, and and we try to understand each other, and then at the end of the day, we have the product that they want with a collection made for them. So Elvis was the same. Like while I was drawing
I would
Elvis,
love to see this Elvis
no,
line.
but like something I always ask not to do portraits. Like I'm not, I can't do that. I'm not good at that. Obviously, they wanted to do Elvis face, so I didn't know how to do Elvis face. One thing is to do like I could do the house like a Graceland and so forth, but like the face. And actually, I had to do it twice before the committee accepted it because they wanted the face, like they wanted a shirt with the
But wait,
face.
out of curiosity, which Elvis? Like young, good-looking Elvis, or like lamb chop, sideburn, old, paunchy Elvis? In the unitard outfit.
Okay, you sound like the person I was thinking about in a sense that while I was doing this, I hardly knew who Elvis was, to be honest. I was like, and I knew people just go crazy about Elvis. I was like, there must be a kid out there in the world that would just die to be in my shoes right now
Probably.
and design Elvis face. And I'm just like hating every minute of it because no, the thing was that the landscape people were so amazing. It was so lovely. They're just like, they were so encouraging and they loved what I did. Said, oh, you can do it. And they were very helpful. So they made it possible for me. I was hating every moment. I was so terrified, to be honest, because but they were very nice and they were happy with the result and it went well. It was a good experience and it made me love Elvis in the end, which was good. But at the beginning I was terrified.
What would that be like the entire range? Because I know you do women's dresses, women's clothing, and then the homewares. So would the Elvis collaboration be like everything?
No, the Elvis was men's and women boating shirts. I don't even know
Huh.
what boating shirts are because I mean I guess boating shirts are shirts to go bowling. That's the idea.
They're
But I
like
think that
button-down shirts,
yeah,
right?
they're just like short sleeves. Like the I guess the neck is like open. They're nice,
Huh.
very nice cut. They're very nice. I mean I didn't consider specifically boating shirts, but that's what they're called. I mean that's what my agent calls them.
Which did you do them on silk or was that?
Silk cotton. I think we were all cotton then. They came out nice.
Oh, yeah, I want to see them. That sounds
They,
very
they, they
like
came out.
unexpected from you.
But they came out very cool actually. I mean, I think they did. I honestly, but you should go on Lansky Brothers. They're an amazing story. Just I think they have them. I don't know if they have them online, but I think they definitely have them. So it's
Yeah, I'm well.
you
It's
know we did. So like I kind of use the same idea of print on every season. I change it. So one of the things I always do is a kind of camouflage.
mm-hmm.
Normally it's done with animals. So I turn I use very animals that I just upon and that they become like a camouflage.
Ah,
So like for Elvis we used the shape of his car, which was like oh gosh, the cry. What was the car? The famous is pink car. What's the brand? Elvis, but Chevrolet. I
I have
I don't
no
re-
idea.
I don't
I
know.
have no idea.
Anyway, Elvis had this.
I just know there's old and young Elvis. That's all.
I mean, Elvis has this amazing pink car. It was very like it was. So I drew the pink car, and then we made it into like different colors, and we made a camouflage with the shape of his car. That was one of and then we had like this Elvis face and Elvis dancing, but like as if it was a sketch, like a quick sketch. And then it was like we did another shirt with those Elvis microphone. They came out nice. They came out real nice.
That's very cool. So, can I ask you what's your upcoming? Have you shown your next season line? Is that like a? I'm not very good at fashion questions, phrasing them correctly. But what's coming up for Roi du Lac? What's the inspiration?
So I just finished. So you need to understand that what I'm selling now is going to get into the stores. So now I'm selling spring summer 2020. So 1 year. We're just 1 year behind. So I'm selling. So that means that I've been drawing this for the last 6 months. So it's about I start drawing like 1.5 year before it actually lands in the stores, like the collection
Okay.
itself. So I just finished doing Japan and the Edo period,
Ah,
which
okay.
is the one, and I think it's been so far reaction's been amazing. We haven't actually launched it properly yet, and it's going to be September real launch, but we
Okay.
had a pre-spring in New York, a pre-season in New York, and it went extremely well. People reacted very well. I mean, our clients, we had new clients. The reaction's been good, and we're going to Miami now to sell it in Miami, and so it's going well. So for about winter 2020, I have no idea. I have to literally start doing it now. But I'm busy now doing another project for my Japanese friends. They want some other cards because they're very happy with the first result, and so now that they want me to develop other things for them, other things. So I'm trying to work on that, trying to come up with ideas for them to do. And as soon as I'm done with that, I'm gonna start uh, doing the new collection, which I have no idea. My idea, which is vague so far, until really wants me to go back to Italy, like talk about Italy more. And to me, I'm afraid that it sounds too much postcard and Dolce Gabbana kind of thing, and I don't want to do that. I like the way we just talk about the world. about what we like, where we go, and so far we're not. But I think she has a point. So I was thinking of doing I was thinking of doing Italy through the eyes of Napoleon. So
Ah.
starting with Elba, when Napoleon was sent in um, exile.
Hmm.
So he was exiled in Elba, which is this island out of the coast of Tuscany, and where in 8 months he had built a huge villa for him, which is amazing, still there. This and with all the N of Napoleon, and it's like a Greek temple. It's beautiful, and he has there are a few things, and there's a lot of houses, like stately homes around the country. They have had like a lot of restoration due to because of Napoleon and
Hmm.
with Napoleon style. So that then you can actually go spread around. So I thought that was just like a little compromise. So it's not really Italy, but it's Italy, but like a part of what I mean. And like the colors and there's a lot of like actually the idea came from the residence of the German ambassador in Paris because I loved it's got all these paintings on the walls and the boiserie and everything. There's like this cobalt blue and it's beautiful. It's just gold, blue, and white and so I thought, oh, I like that. I like the combination of the colors. So it actually started from Paris more than from Italy, but so that's one possibility. But I need to kind of sit down and do it.
I like that idea. I love the. I mean, I love kind of tracing the the history of Napoleon in Rome in particular. I find that fascinating. I don't know. I love that overlapping period, or like going to Parma and seeing
Oh, I
the.
love Parma and I love
Yeah,
Piacenza too. So it's
yeah.
just no, no, I do yes. I mean, it's
That's a good way to that's a good way to not necessarily take invest in the postcard image of Italy, but say okay, here's another perspective.
yeah.
Now I have a question because I know that I think you guys have both lived in a bunch of different places, but Antea mentioned at one point you lived in Milan. Being a fashion design company, I was surprised that you are based in Rome. Can I ask what the motivation was for being here?
Money. No, in a sense that uh, no, I'm just kidding. I mean, it is in the sense that um, uh, it would just happen. We had to choose a place to stay. We didn't have. We knew we wanted to go away from Sicily, and Ted, and we didn't really know. It made no difference for us. We didn't have a job back then. We didn't have a company, so it made no. We didn't know what we were doing with our lives, and we had kids. And Ted's grandma, who passed away unfortunately at the beginning of the month, was so Antea and her grandma didn't know each other very well during her life, and they became very very close the last few years. And one day, out of the blue, grandma said that she would leave Antea her house once she was gone, which was totally unexpected and was very nice. And she said, as long as you live here, as long I don't want you to get the house and sell it back or leave it empty. I want you kind of
Live in
to live in the house. So when we were choosing a place to stay, and we felt very grateful for that, and we said, well, she's old and she's given up something so it's beautiful what she's doing for us. So we thought, might as well go live in Rome, which is a beautiful place we like so much, so we can be close to her. And on one day, because she was very old, she passed away at 98 years
Oh
old.
wow.
So when this happened, she was already like 95, 94. So it just like she was old, so we knew it was a matter of time. And said, well, it would be nice to spend like the last years of her life close to her and be helpful. And also because once she's gone, we will be honoring. If we have to go there live anyway, we might as well have started our lives with the schools and the kids. It literally happened for that reason.
And you guys had never lived in Rome before.
No, it was just random. It was totally random.
Wow. So
And
how do you like living here?
I love it. But about fashion, there's something I want to say because like, um, so Rome is a weird place in the terms. People think like Milan is fashion, which is true. It is so true. But then when you think about it, um, the coolest Italian companies in fashion right now, what are they? Fendi, Gucci, Valentino. Bulgari, and they're all in Rome. Like these four names are just named are just like huge. Yes, then there's Dolce Gabbana and Armani and others, but like these four names are really big right now, all over the Gucci in particular, all over the world, like huge, and they're all in Rome. So it's not as if it was just like a random place that you just like come here. And I believe in endorsement because I believe that, and I it doesn't happen as much, but I believe that in a way to country, I believe especially big brands should be more like helping brands like like us to grow. Not because there's no competition. We're not we are no competition, and it also helps the market and it helps and so forth. And I must say that being in Rome, it's kind of a strange thing that I always found out about life in general. Like if I were in New York, no one would notice me because it'd be so not because I'm not good, but because it's like there's too much. Like there's too much. Like in Rome, I'm just like I'm kind of like there's me, yeah, and there's a few other people, but it's just like it's actually shit happens, and one of the things that happened was that, and I'm very grateful for that. Like, and it was very unexpected. There's this very nice woman called Simonetta Gianfelici. You should actually interview her. Check her out. She's a former top model. She was a beautiful woman, not only outside but inside. And I think she's retired from the runway for a long time, and she's now taking care of trying to relaunch Alta Roma, which is
Ah, yeah.
Roman Fashion Week, which was big one time once, and she picked us and other five brands, I think, or four or five brands, and they sponsoring our first runway show, which is
Oh,
kind of good. It's going to be on Sunday next week, so like
in
10.
Rome.
Yeah, they're gonna have this event where they're gonna have a runway show for five brands with eight outfits each brand. Runways are expensive and they paying for everything, and they selected us, which is very nice. I mean, it's not New York. I mean, it's not Paris. It's not Milan, but they're doing a great job, and and they're as I said, they're big brands here. They're real people from the business that come to Rome, and so I'm very excited about it and very grateful.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. So that's Alta Roma. That would be probably like the 9th of July.
7th.
Oh, the 7th. Good. I'll be here.
Yeah,
I'll come.
yeah,
I would.
definitely.
I would definitely. Where are they doing it? I don't even ask. I'm not going to ask you just yet. I'm going to Google it because you know what? I love Googling.
I mean,
And it's a secret. No,
no,
it's
no,
not.
no, it's not a secret. Just I don't know, and I'm so ashamed of myself.
Well, no, but I mean, I think in the past few weeks, what were you telling me? You were in New York, you were in
No,
PT
there is a
Walmart, you've
place.
been everywhere.
There's a place that I have an address. I just wouldn't be able to tell it that way.
That's okay. I don't even know my own address at this point.
No, I mean I don't mean to be honest. No, no. So actually it's good. And I love living in Rome for many. Life in Rome, raising kids is amazing. Yeah, and our house has become our showroom and has become the place where people come and want to and can feel welcome
It's
to.
the nexus of it all.
I mean, it's always been my way. Like, I think like to me, food has always been a big deal. Like, and that's why again, it's like food has been a really big deal. And to me, I love cooking, and to me, having people over, cook for people, make 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 people feel welcome. I like vices so much. I like people to feel like they can come here. Every time I throw dinners, I don't smoke, but I have cigarettes all over the house.
I saw them right there. I love
you,
vices too, I have to say.
you can smoke in the house. I want people to come here and feel, God, I want to relax. It's not a house. Like if you see the house, like and especially people like, oh, but your children, the house is packed with stuff. They're just gonna, poor things. I mean, my children have literally half of the house. And Tia and this house is built to have one bedroom for the children and one bedroom for the adults. And then there was a bedroom for the nanny or whatever for the help, which is very, very tiny. We don't have help staying over. So Tia and I went sleep in the room for the help. That was meant, so we lived in a tiny little space and left half of the house to the kids so they could have their own space and made it especially for them, like nursery kind of space. And it's huge, just like half of the house. But the rest of the half of the house it's adult time. Like it's just like you're not messing with us. Like there's a lot of stuff. There's cigarettes everywhere. There's alcohol everywhere. You can come here, relax, enjoy, and that's like to me just like it's what it is. And people come here and have good. That's people have come and a good time. And one thing was crazy that happened recently. Just like a friend of ours was very um, who's actually a fellow journalist, Marella Caracciolo, who writes for the World of Interiors. We it was actually happened very random. We ring her up one day, say, Marella, do come for dinner. We'd like you to come. She had never been before, and we don't know her for a long time. And she said, well, I actually have a guest. I think it could work. Can I bring him along? Two guests. And one was a young photographer called Guido Taroni, who's very successful. He's growing to be a very successful photographer. I think he already is very successful, and who does pictures from quite all around. And the other guy was Amish Bowles,
Oh, wow.
who works and I had met Amish before, and I at a party in Turkey,
Of all places.
of all places, like okay, uh, and I remember walking. Thank God he had forgotten it, because I was very like kind of when like you kind of go, oh, there's the VIP, let's go talk to him.
Like
And I was
fangirling?
yeah, fangirling, and I was totally drunk, and I was like up to him and says. And I was like, hey, this is. I was like, okay. And I was like, he's very kind, he's very nice. And I was like, I didn't know what to say. I said, so what do you think of haute couture? Isn't it over? And it's like, no. And they're like, yeah, but you think, who wears the gowns there nowadays? I was like making it worse. And I had this conversation about haute couture. Like, it was over for me. It was gone. And it's like, okay, not happening. Thank God. I think it was either very polite or we forgot completely that he had the conversation with me. Anyway, so he came over. And that's what I said was so special about Rome, because I think, to be honest, I don't think we were just like the specialty. We would have been, it was just because I guess in Rome it would be okay for him to come here. It was interesting, and he took a picture of our dining room and say Roman charm and posted it on his profile on Instagram,
Yeah.
which is like followed with so many people, and you don't know how many people reached out to us after that, and just like. Crazy how this world works, and it's just like it's literally crazy, but that's kind of like what I love about Rome, because everybody comes to Rome eventually. And I'm not saying everybody comes to Rome then they have to come to our house. I mean, but I kind of, yeah, why not?
So everybody's invited.
Yeah, definitely.
Just right by Piazza Navona, just form a line.
Yeah, I mean that's it's
So for the people who can't make it quite to this address, can I ask you to, if you were to have two suggestions, it can be an art museum, it can be a cafe, it can be a restaurant, it can be a bar. Where should they go in Rome? What are your two kind of go-to places in Rome?
oh my God.
It can be 30 places, but we can narrow it down.
And I was trying to get to.
It's tough, right?
No, I was trying at 30.
Oh, you were trying to go from 1 to 2.
No, from 0 to 2.
Oh.
I was like, where do I go? Because I don't go out. I was like, I'm always like, to me, Rome is like this kind of like.
It's just this apartment.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. To me, like when people ask me, and I mean, Trastevere, which is central, to me, it's just already out.
Oh, yeah, it's across. It's across.
It's across the river. Like to me, literally, I mean, I just like the city. Sometimes I actually take the car to go do stuff. It doesn't happen often, but it like in the city, like off, whatever. And I said, there's actually a place out here. Like, yeah, I went to the pediatrician like yesterday or 2 days ago, and it was like San Giovanni. I was like, wow, this is actual city. Just like this is like.
It's like 20 minutes away.
It's no, but there are no. So let me just. I want to say this right. Let me just think real quick. So, there is a restaurant I like very much, which is called Il Buco, Piazza del Collegio Romano, and it's a Tuscan place. It's always empty.
Is it the one in the corner?
Yeah. You see tourists go up to the menu, read the menu, and flee, like go away, run away. It's and the reason why I love it is that there's certain things I love about places. I love very good service, good food, and no fuss about food. So it's something you need to know about me.
That you have three rules for
No,
everything.
no, yeah, no. I don't know why I came with three, but yes, I guess I'm a maniac. So so like I hate when people talk about food. Like food has to be good. That's it. Like when you go to a restaurant and the waiter has to tell you, or when I hate reading menus. Like I'm ADD. I can't read a menu. I really can't. Just like tell me what's good and give it to me. But it has to be simple and it has to be very well made. That's how it works for me. But when they come and tell you all about the food, or the food is just like, oh, there's a sprinkle of that, there's some, I don't know what of that, it's like that, and you want a steak, but the steak has like, I don't know, sushi on top or whatever, I don't know. I want a bloody steak, that's all I want, just something easy. And they make the most amazing truffle spaghetti, like with real
Oh,
truffle, like unbelievably good. Don't eat the steak. Steak I'm not so crazy about, but that's what I was mentioning before. You get a New York cut, you don't go back. That's the problem. Yeah, it's true.
you're spoiled.
No spoiler, but you go to New York steakhouses, you're done. Like you were talking about Houston barbecue, you're done. You're not eating meat anywhere else. Fuck the Fiorentina. It's not true. you know,
All
but
right, so now we've gotten one.
so you book it definitely just to go have truffle spaghetti, best in the world, and you just have to enjoy a place which is not too fancy, old school. Waiters come there, they have their uniform with the little bow tie, and it looks filthy. It's not filthy at all. It's very clean, but it looks filthy. It's an old school place, and there's no one there because no one wants to go there anymore. He hasn't got a fancy cuisine, but it's amazing.
Okay.
And it's enjoyable and they treat you well, and when someone comes in, there's just like
They're so happy.
they're so happy because
They're
they were
like, "We finally
expecting.
got someone.
Literally, when I go in, there's just like, and I like that. I like everybody makes fun of me because I have my favorite place in each city I go, and I always go to the same place over and over and over. So like, and because I like to be recognized. I do that in New York. I do like in Florence. I do like in Paris. Like when I travel for it, I always go to the same restaurant until they
And
recognize
they're
me.
like, Marco.
It's Marco, and because then I know, and I'm like, yes, charge me more. Just be an hypocrite. Make me feel good about myself. Just like I don't care. People say they want to know the truth. Like don't, and I don't want to know the truth. Don't give me lies. I mean, I don't care. Just make me feel good about myself. That's what I care for. No, true, honestly. So that's definitely one place I like to go to. I love Giolitti for ice cream.
Oh, so does my husband.
Oh yes, so,
He's
well,
his favorite. We always get in arguments too.
yeah. I mean, your husband is a clever man. Yeah, that's a good place.
He
to
thinks
go.
he is.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, but Giolitti is a good place for ice cream, and that I like very much. What I like doing in Rome. No, I mean I like that, and what is it? I mean, I like walking in Rome. I think people should definitely go to the Lungotevere. That's for sure. I've walked there, and I like more places. So like, but I don't never know the names. Like I like all this like churches on the Aventino.
Oh,
There's
like
yeah, this beautiful, but I don't know. I'm too bad to know the name.
I know the names, but they're not coming to me because it's not Santa Seba. It's not that. I know they're like the really really old ones.
Yes, those
Yes.
these kind of very old churches. That's
We'll have to ask. So I'll have to ask my husband Darius because he's an archaeologist. So
Yeah.
he always takes me there, and I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm really showing off how much I know the city right now.
no, but look, I mean, to be honest, so can I tell you something very bad about me? So there's a museum across the road, literally across the road. Like, get out of my building. In front of you, there's a museum called Museo Baracco, I think.
Mhm,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've actually been in there.
You've been. Is it as good as they say?
Yeah, it's a very particular collection. My husband loves it, and it's one of those museums that's open like only in the mornings and it's completely free. And it's got some good Egyptian and Greek, and you've never been in it.
Never been in it. So I'll tell you the story. I was in New York like a week ago. So I have this friend, Jacob, that works for a very posh gallery on the Upper East Side. They have a townhouse. It's like a private gallery. And they sell a lot of archaeological pieces. So he said, why don't you come over to the gallery and have a drink? I was like, actually, I'm wearing my Lululemon trousers. I'm not sure I'm the right crowd for me. And he's like, yeah, don't care, come in. So I go inside and I have like two clients and one of the partners of the gallery. And I was like, okay, this is not going well. And anyway, they're very nice. They give me some drink and they just start talking like, I can't even quote one thing they said. It was about something Sumeric. I don't know what they said. It talked for like 3 hours. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, oh, interesting. Oh, God, of course. Oh, that's so interesting. Oh, amazing. Don't know what they said. Don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Anyway, after 3 hours of talking, there's like, oh, you live in Bath. Marrake's my favorite museum. Don't you go there every morning? I was like, yeah, of course I do.
Get my coffee there.
I mean, I can't have my coffee without it. Like, I go there and of course. And I was like, oh, the fuck. I was like, oh, and then I said, actually, you know what? It's been under restoration for 10 years. It's been closed. But I was still asking, no, I'm sure you were wrong. No.
Like the government, we
Yeah,
had
yeah,
a mayor, she closed it.
I know, maybe they opened it for you. I'm sure. Anyway, so I said, and so they say that's amazing, and I will go there.
You can go with my husband. He'll take you.
Oh, that'd be lovely because
he loves
as long as he doesn't talk all that crap about Sumeric shit. Because
no, he's a Romanist. He'll just point it out and go, and then he'll go, the Romans.
Okay.
That's what he does. He'll do this. I mean, actually, that's horrible because a lot of people know him and they know he doesn't talk like that. But my imitation is because he's the kind of guy that looks at everything and he's like, oh, but that's Roman, and it's the end all be all for him. Yeah. Well, listen, I had a wonderful conversation with you.
Sorry. I mean, I hope I didn't spoil
please.
it for you.
This is wonderful, and I'm so excited that you've never been to the Baracco Museum.
Yeah. So that tells you how hard we work on our fabrics and how deep we go into
you guys
research.
Are just focus.
Why would I go to the Baracco when I can read it up on Wikipedia?
Exactly.
It's just like
that's what we tell our kids. Just don't experience.
Just like go on the web. Just it's all there. It's save us money and time.
Well, everybody, I want you guys to take a look at Roi du Lac, ROIDULAC.com. I'm going to share that in the sub information. Marco, is wonderful speaking with you, and I hope you guys have a great summer. And I can't wait to see the Sfilata next week. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Ciao Bella. You can find all my episodes on iTunes, and if you have time, subscribe, rate, and let me know your thoughts on the podcast. You can also be part of the podcast by donating. Find Ciao Bella on patreon.com, where with as little as $1, you get behind-the-scenes photos and videos as I travel all throughout Italy. To learn more about me and my work, go to my website, ericafirpo.com, and follow my Italy adventures on Instagram at ericafirpo. Ciao Bella! And a very big thank you and hug to Massimiliano Yonta and Disc to Disc Studios, the producers of Ciao Bella, who continue to make me sound and feel great.